Hi, y'all. I said, let me go on and come live with some of this stuff. Because I was gonna make videos, but it might take me too long. And I don't know what's going on with the whole thing with Nicki Minaj. It's like it was so many stories out here yesterday about her. It was kind of weird, but I know she has some music that's coming out as well. So you never know. Um, but I think the story that I want to start with, because I probably have the least to say about it, it's the whole thing with Funky Dineva, which I don't have these pictures in order, but he was, on his page doing what he do, child, and he was like, "Oh, I need y'all to stop lying to Rihanna, stop telling her she look good and all this stuff, cause she don't." And I'm thinking, what is he referring to? And he didn't really say it. I think he's referring to maybe some of her outfits, which everyone's taste is different. Some people don't, they're not really fashionistas like that, or have a real strong passion for fashion in that way. And so they may not even understand what statements she's making, right? Anyway, they just see whatever she has on and think that it's ugly. But we rest assured, everything that Rihanna got on, child, we can't afford. Okay. So I'm not getting to that woman's business about what she got on. Um, well, let me speak for myself, because Funky Daddy would probably go off and say, "Hey, I can afford da, 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 da. I whatever. I can't afford it, so I don't care what she got on like that." I don't think she looks bad. I know I noticed, like everyone else, that she's wearing a lot of coats. We also know that she is pregnant with her second child. She is a new mom. I think what he is upset at is that people are reposting her, or, you know, we're celebrating the fact that she's a new mom. And that's what I wanted to say about the whole situation, because he tends to, and he's not the only one. I don't want to start no the black gay man and the black woman battle. Okay, so I'm not gonna say it's just them, but I think that people, they often put the way they view life or whatever, and they try to make that what it is, and that's not what it is. Women are celebrating her, and probably some men as well. They're celebrating her. She's a new mom. She's a young mom. Um, and the fact that she can get up and move around. There are some women who are pregnant who are on bed rest for 5 or 6 months of their pregnancy. So it's the stuff that I think that he's not thinking about. The fact that she can get up and walk around and strut her stuff and whatever she has on, is what people are celebrating. And I think that he needs to sometimes, him and his girl Chica, they they need to relax. Y'all need to relax out here a little bit. It's just not that serious for you to, go on some rant about, stop lying to her. We're not lying to her. I don't, that's the way I feel about it. But you guys can let me know what you think about it, when you think about what he's saying. Because I thought it was kind of rude, but at the same time, I get it. That's kind of what we all do when we're jumping on these platforms. We're doing things somewhat for shock value and to get people to start talking about you, right? So I just thought, here we go. We're gonna talk about fucking Dineva a little bit. I just think that he needs to be a little more sensitive to the conversation, because she is pregnant. So that is probably more than likely why she has on these coats. Because I noticed people have been saying that in some comments too, like, "Mama, I'm confused. What's the weather where you are?" Right? And I think that Funky Dunn even said something to that effect too, about the weather, how she has on these coats, and then she may have on a short skirt under. But I think that's the whole point. And Rihanna is the type of fashionista, the type of person who kind of marches to the beat of her own drum anyway. She's not going to have on what you think she's supposed to have on anyway, right? And that's her thing. At least that's the way I see her. And I don't have it. That's why I say I don't have no issues with nothing that she wears. I think that that's about her comfort level and about her feeling good. And because she is pregnant, why would you say anything about that? And that's just how I think. Everybody don't have to think like that. You guys can let me know what you think about what Funky Dineva posted. I'm not sure if I have it in here. I could not get these videos together. That's what took me so long to go live, child. But you can go over to his Instagram. I'm sure he still has it up, and he's like, "Why y'all lying to her? She don't look good." Um, And sometimes too, I think it's the way people are when people are capturing people, when they're taking the picture and somebody's moving, you don't really see the full effect of the outfit anyway, right? Um, and so yeah, she was walking she was with her husband. Are they married? I don't know if that's her husband. I don't know. Child, Rocky, they were walking and coming out of a restaurant, and you can tell that they were literally moving. So that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes a picture, people could take pictures and it may not catch people in the best light, right? So anyway, that's just my opinion. You guys can let me know what y'all think about fucking Dineva over there talking about um, and do you think that it was appropriate for him to say that, considering she is pregnant? And like I said, it's a lot of women that's on bed rest. It's all the stuff that I know that he don't think about, right? So women we tend to celebrate women when they're bringing life. That's kind of how that go over here on our side. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about that. And then the other story that's out here is Nene, right? I don't know. People for the past 2 weeks, people have been saying that she broke up with this Nico. I think his name Nico, Nylon or Nico. They keep saying that she broke up with him, but then when I was on Portia's page, Portia has pictures up of Nene and her boyfriend together at Simon's event. So, and people were saying that a week ago that they had broke up. I think that she keeps posting these messages about narcissists and all this stuff that she's saying, and people think that she's talking about this guy, and she may be talking about whomever. She could be talking about the Bravo execs for all we know, child. Because another thing that's being reported is that people were saying, and I almost swear that I read that myself, and I didn't do no research. So, like I said, I couldn't even get my videos together. But I almost swear, like a year ago, they were saying that she settled with Bravo or whoever owns Bravo, whoever the major company is. She settled with them, and they didn't say the amount or whatever. But I almost felt like that was reported. But some people are now saying that that's not true, that she did not settle with Bravo and that that's ongoing. And so I don't know. Like I said, she could be talking to the Bravo people for all we know. And people are assuming she's talking about her boyfriend. Now, because of, like some people were saying, because of this case with this wife or ex-wife, maybe she's just not posting them as much as she would, post her relationship because of that lawsuit as well. I don't know, but if you guys know, I don't see Nene announcing that she's single. So I think that she will probably say that if that was in fact true. And this is just my opinion. And she also has some friends here on YouTube, and I believe she has her own YouTube channel as well, even though I don't think she's using it. But I know she's friends with Michelle Brown, and she may go live with Michelle and say that she's single, if that's what it is. I don't know. But I don't necessarily think that she's talking to him, and I don't know why people keep saying that. But let me know what y'all think. Do you think she's talking to the boyfriend with this recent post about narcissists? And she also posted this after Bravo cut her out of that scene on the latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. For whatever reason, they sort of chopped her out of the promo picture for the show from a few seasons ago. I think when I was looking it up, it was season 4. And so they were flashing back on some stuff Candy had said about Marlo. And so they showed that picture, but they took Nene off of it. And so maybe that is why she posted. Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, well, maybe she's talking to the Bravo execs or whoever did that. So that's what I think. Let me know what y'all think. And like I said, I saw her and the boyfriend I think she was with him at this recent party. City Girls record label owner, whatever his name is, somebody cute. Child know these people. She was on a picture at his party with the boyfriend as well, and then she was at Simon's party or Simon's Yvette with the boyfriend as well. So I don't think she broke up with him. And that's just my opinion. You guys can let me know what y'all think in the comment about all of that. Um, Now, let me go to this Joseline stuff because I really don't have a whole bunch of stuff to say about it. I kind of agree with Roland Martin. I don't like the way Zeus do the stuff that they do. And I've already expressed that. Um, and I'm really ready for Joseline, for somebody to give her a real break out here and give her something to do where she's not doing this to herself. And I get it. People were going to say, well, that's just part of her personality and who she is anyway. You know, she's going to pop off or whatever. But she also seems to have some calm moments. I think that she can coexist with people in, you know, a more civilized way if she's given that opportunity. You know, people paying her to act out like this, and that's why I agree with Roland. I don't like it. I was very disturbed by seeing the way she grabbed that girl's head. You know, after coming off the Shanquilla case and seeing how that young lady lost her life over some foolishness, we still don't even know why that happened. You have to be very careful out here putting your hands on people. You know, and I don't care how much folks are paying you. You know, when you take somebody's life up out of here, you may not get the same break that those girls got for taking Shanquilla's life. Okay? So let's be very clear about that. You know, she grabbed that girl by the neck and her body was twisting one way and her head was going in a different way. It was that was not okay. The stuff is not okay. And then all I see is Zeus t-shirts everywhere. And so I was like, oh, this is some of that Zeus bullshit, but I can cuss. I can cuss now. This is some of that Zeus bullshit. Okay. This is the Zeus bullshit. Um, because they were not stopping, and like everybody, I'm not the only person saying this. And even when you look at it, when you really keep looking at it, you can see it. Those people were not stopping Joseline. Okay. All them big 400-pound men could have picked her up with one arm and took her ass to a dressing room or somewhere. They sat there and let her act a fool around that stadium because this is their way of promoting that channel. And then everybody's standing around with Zeus t-shirts on and running around looking like, you know, fools. Um, this is all about that channel, and I understand that she's some kind of way invested in Zeus as well, beyond her just being on a show. And so for her, maybe, you know, I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I think that, you know, everybody needs to have growth, and that's all of us. I'm not judging her. I'm just saying, grow up. Grow up. You got your daughter out here looking at you now. You got other people's kids looking at you. Cut the foolishness. You know, I mean, bring that shit down to a minimum. For real, for real. And like I said, she could have very easily snapped that girl's neck, and this story would have looked real, real different out here. Okay? Real different. And there's no laughter in it for me. I don't see nothing funny. I don't see nothing cute about it. It's not gonna make me run to Zeus. I ain't never going to Zeus. Now I might one of these days go over there to Tasha K's channel, but I'm never going to Zeus. They will never see me. Okay, I don't, and I want to come back, and I think I'm just gonna make a separate video about the whole Tyler Perry, because it's just been announced that Tyler Perry has actually um, purchased VH1 and BET. And some people are saying they're not happy about that, but I want to come back and talk about, because I was trying to raise that conversation in my community tab. Do you guys think that we need a BET, right? And so now he owns VH1 as well, which can get interesting. And then at the same time, Tyler Perry will probably leave these channels just the way they are, because I think he already has some type of deal with BET, so it was easier for him to, to do whatever he's going to do over there, because he already got like 3 or 4 or probably more shows going over there. So it kind of makes sense that he would win out that bid. But I want to talk about the whole BET thing in a separate video. But yeah, y'all can let me know in the comments as I'm talking about it, what y'all think about him actually buying, or he won the bid for BET in VH1. Um, and then I guess this other story that's out here is, now, like I was saying, there's a bunch of stuff out here about Nicki Minaj. they were saying this, there's something called swatting that's going on where people are sending the police or the SWAT team to celebrities' houses as a prank, which is dangerous. I don't think that that's okay for people to do that, and I don't know who's behind doing it. And to my understanding, she is hiring lawyers and whoever she needs to have look into that to get, to get people charged for doing that, because that's dangerous. And when people already don't like her boyfriend, I mean her husband, don't put that guy in that situation like that. That's not cool. People just real crazy out here today, like on some next level crazy. um Find something better to do with yourself. Do some good in this world, period. So yeah, that happened. They went to her door saying that she was abusing her son, and then they went back saying the house was on fire. And then she went live on her Instagram, I guess yesterday, saying that she got a breast reduction, right? And like I told you guys in my other video, regardless of the stories, and we keep hearing the stories about people coming up deceased from behind plastic surgery, it's not going to stop these women from doing these things, right? Um, you know, I don't know. And maybe one day I'll come back and make a video about that too. I don't know. But it's just not. I know the day that I was hearing all this stuff about JackyOh, Coach Stormy, are you guys familiar with her? I believe she's a life coach, and I think she may have had a reality show as well. Um, Very pretty lady. She was on YouTube, and I believe she has a YouTube channel, and she was like really looking really nervous, and she maybe like 15 minutes long. She's kind of just explaining her whole life story, child. She talking about, I mean, I was surprised because I don't really know a lot about her. I know who she is, but she was saying that how she started working in a strip club at 13, and how as time was going on while she was working there, she started to see girls get into this plastic surgery stuff, because this wasn't always a thing, you know. And I'm not even going to go into no history about it or nothing like that, but it wasn't always a thing. But she said the girls started doing it and going places to get like these butt shots or something, and she said so she went to do it as well because she was a dancer. Whatever this club is, that shit need to be shut down if it's still open. But she looks of a particular age, so it's probably not even still open. So I don't even think we really need to worry about this place probably not even open. But just it's disturbing talking about a 13-year-old working somewhere like that. But she said that she went to get the shots later on as this plastic surgery stuff started becoming popular, and she got some buzz shots, and she was at, this day when it was like a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks now, she was going to get the butt shots removed. And she sounded really nervous. She was almost crying in the video, and she was saying she know that it may leave her slightly deformed and all this stuff. And, she was asking for prayer and stuff. After hearing about this other young lady, I think that, yeah, some people probably are nervous, right, when they're doing this. But like Akbar is saying, because Akbar tries to be slightly responsible, even though she's who she is. But yeah, she was slightly there. Do your homework, look into these doctors, make sure you know their records, and if you're really looking into what you're doing, making sure your health is where it's supposed to be. Don't just take the plastic surgeon's word for it. Go and see your actual doctor, or a doctor, to make sure you're okay and that you can go under into these procedures. Because a lot of these people probably just doing this stuff. They don't care. They just want that money. And so you do have to be careful out here. And I'm not, trying to make light of, because while he was over there talking about the third world countries and all that stuff, obviously people are going to these other places because it's cheaper. But for many years, America was at the top of the medical field, medical world, as far as of many things. And so you really can't get any better treatment than you probably are going to get in this country. If you can't afford it, that's probably a sign you don't need to do it. You need to wait, get the money, and make sure you're going to people that are going, that, and there's laws as well that in this country that do protect people, right? Malpractice and all that stuff. And so all this stuff is stuff to consider. I understand it might be cheaper to go run and try to do all this stuff, but if you can't look into those people, and you can't, just people need to rethink all that stuff. Like, everything just because it's cheap don't mean that that's just always the way to go. Sometimes it's best to pay the price that you need to pay for what it is. Especially something like that, because anytime you go into anesthesia, you can lose your life, and everybody should already know that. So yeah, they're both out here talking about getting plastic surgery. So people were just like, "Oh my god!" But at least they waited, I guess, until after the lady's funeral. It was only a few hours after, but Nicki was announcing that she got a breast reduction, and then child Akbar got a whole video standing up naked with the man marking her body and all this stuff. And so, like I said, I didn't think that that was going to stop people from doing it, because even when Wiley was having a conversation, it was some lady who was like, are very argumentative. Well, only a few people pass away. Everybody don't pass away, and they're making their they're creating their reason why they're going to continue to do all this stuff. But I just think when you have small children, even if you have grown children, you just need to be careful. You have to consider you have other people that need you and care about you as well. It's not, don't just do it from a selfish place. But let me know what y'all think about all of that, about Nicki and Akbar first both coming running out here talking about their plastic surgery, child, right after this lady's funeral. Um, and like I said, Nicki probably had already had that done, especially since she was talking about it, and kind of showing herself in some shirt or whatever. Y'all can go to her Instagram and see the video. Um, and since I'm going into the JackyOh stuff, I'll just go on and go. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about Mary too, and I'll talk about Mary last. But her father, I should laugh, but yeah, you gotta laugh to keep from just like it's ridiculousness. But like I said this before, and I know people get upset because they think that you're trying to talk about them. I don't care. Nobody is in control of who creates them, right? We all understand that. I don't have nothing against nobody. People can do whatever they want to do. My thing is that as African American people, people who come from even wherever you're from, slavery had taken place on these islands as well. It took place in Africa as well. So it don't matter where you're from. We all have had to deal with some type of emotional trauma behind having to truly try to wrap our minds around what happened to our ancestors. Okay. And everybody don't deal with that the same way. Everybody can't handle that conversation. Everybody can't cope with all the racism that still goes on around us. Okay. And I get that. And I think most people get that. I don't know. And some people probably will say they don't even think about it. Right. And that's their coping mechanism. That's the way they cope with life. They just try not to think about it. And I get that as well. The man got up during her funeral, and I think there's several videos out here now. I was watching Cynthia G, and this is where I heard this story, because she said like she went live the day before because they were like really, really going in on him, and this is my thing: protect your peace. If people don't think like you, and they on some stuff that's not positive to us as a people, as a group of people, then just stay away from those people. We don't owe DC Young Fly and the rest of these folk nothing out here. Okay. I don't, just like they feel like they don't owe nobody nothing. We don't owe them nothing. So you don't really have to go to these people's channels. You don't have to go to their comedy shows. You don't have to go to their podcast. You don't have to go to Wild and Out. You don't have to do all that stuff. If you're doing that stuff, it's because that's your choice to do that. And that's kind of what I meant about Azalea Banks. She went on there on her own, so she has to take some accountability and responsibility for the fact that she went there herself. Okay, nobody forced her to go over there to that show, and she was already talking about these guys out here in the industry. Um, but getting back to the father was speaking at his daughter's funeral, and instead of him staying on conversation about her being a beautiful person and being a good mom, I was looking at her YouTube channel, and she seemed family oriented. A lot of her videos were centered around her children, and her spending time with her family. Right? I guess it was more like a journal channel. Um, But yeah, there were some conversations. People were saying that they didn't know, even some YouTubers were saying they didn't know that she was biracial. Okay. And I guess the father got wind of this, and he went in after he was speaking on her a few minutes. He went into this whole thing. Oh, y'all out here talking about race. The video is out here. It's like I said, there's more than one version because some people are cutting out this whole Adam and Eve stuff. And some people are cutting out that minister or whoever that was that went up there and cut him off too. But there's a long version of it, and you do see the man going behind him and tell him to cut it out, right? To stop talking, and so he kind of ends it. But there's a short version as well, and people let him get all the way up into this whole Adam and Eve explanation. But he went into this whole thing about y'all out here talking about race, which I'm not even going to go off into that. I just wanted to bring up this story just to raise a conversation because I think I've had that conversation here on here before as well. And like I said, people get upset because they don't want to be honest. They don't want to have honest dialogue about how things affect people in this country. Because as long as you're gaining from other people's self lack of self worth, as long as you are benefiting from people being self loathing, then you don't want to see a problem. You don't have to see a problem with that because you're going to come in and benefit from these people who feel a certain way about themselves. And so he went into this whole thing about Adam, God made Adam. First of all, he said, I don't even believe in the Bible or something he said to that effect. Go and listen to what he said. I couldn't get the video up. But he was like, oh, I don't really follow the Bible like that. But the Bible says that God made Adam, and God made Adam from dirt, which means he's black, right? This is the, I, I promise you, I can't make this shit up. Okay, y'all need to go. I was trying to get the video, but I can't get it up. Anyway, so you got to go hear it for yourself. And Cynthia G, like I said, some people have the short version of it, but there's a long version of it as well. And you need to see the long version because you need to see that man come and tap him and tell him to cut it off. And then he said, and then God said, and if you don't believe this, then you're a racist. See, and that's always the go-to. Like people are not racist. We are having a real conversation about life, right? And about we have to be honest about the things that really go on in this world. Black people are still being killed because of the color of their skin. Okay, some woman just got shot at going on, because the neighbor couldn't hated her and her children. Okay, so we're not gonna play out here. We're not playing out here. You play it out here because that's your coping mechanism. I'm not getting ready to be lying for folk. I'm not doing that. Okay. And so he get out here talking about, and then he said, "Let there be Eve," and made Eve from Adam's rib, the pink rib, the pink rib, which means that Eve is a white woman. I mean, it's almost comedy. It's almost comedy, but it was in a funeral setting, right? And so everybody's like, and so Cynthia's like, "What is he talking about? And why would he do that at this girl's funeral?" And I was thinking that too, like, why would you do that at your daughter's funeral? Just keep it on her. Keep it on remembering her. And you don't need to explain who she was. If she didn't tell people that she was biracial, she didn't have to, right? Number one, she don't have to explain who she is to nobody. Nobody has to explain who they are to nobody at the end of the day. Okay, so that's neither here nor there. Like for him to even entertain that type of stuff is weird to me, and to do that at her funeral, But it really plays into what Cynthia G has been saying on this channel for many years, and what I've said in some videos too. People really do have internal stuff that they don't know how to address it. They have internal stuff that they don't know how to address. And I'm not a doctor. I didn't write this. This is in black and white. It's already written. Okay. When Malcolm X said, "Who taught you to hate yourself?" I wasn't even alive when that man made that statement. Okay. So I'm not creating nothing. There are real internal issues that black people have, and this is why reparations is in order. Okay, because this stuff has never been, the wrongs have never been made right in this country anyway. And then you have people out here doing stuff like that. Like in order for you to have peace in your life, you have to make up stuff. And then he said he never read the Bible, but then he said, he went off into that. And I think the minister or whoever that church probably belonged to went and cut him out because they're probably not teaching that. They're probably not teaching that the way he was trying to run that. And I didn't really get why he was trying to put that in the air. And like the man cut him off, so he really didn't go any further. um, but what do you guys think? Do you think that there's ever a time for you to just break off into some stuff that don't have nothing to do with nothing? Yeah, that girl, I don't know if she told people she was biracial or not. From looking at the videos, the couple videos that I was looking at on her YouTube channel, it seems that her family, a lot of them did have that look of you don't really know what's going on. A lot of them look Spanish speaking as well. So I don't know if those were her family members or what. And maybe they are. Maybe people are, married to this one, married to that one. Everybody, just married to somebody that's not like her father. And it is what it is. And so people probably don't know what she was. And that's not a good or a bad thing. Like we don't have telekinesis, honey. We can't sit out here and read minds and read bloodlines. Like so it's really weird that when people get weird about that. Like people don't if people don't know, they don't know. It's not no big deal. And like I said, she did not have to come out here and tell nobody who she was. That's what I think. Um, but yeah, for whatever reason, he felt the need to address that at her funeral. Let me know what y'all think about that. Like I said, Cynthia was talking about him the day before. Then yesterday, she was talking about the funeral, the father at the funeral. Because some people felt like the boyfriend wasn't as emotional, and everybody grieves different. So I don't really judge. I'm not judging that man. I'm not judging that man about how he's grieving something because we don't know what he's doing behind closed doors, and so people need to leave good enough alone. You don't know how he's really grieving. So I'm not gonna play that game with people, but people were on Cynthia's channel saying a whole bunch of stuff, saying that he had another girlfriend, and that's why he's not as emotional as people think he should be. But we don't know if he's emotional or not. We're not seeing that man 24/7. Okay, so you guys don't know if he's breaking down or whatever behind closed doors. You don't know. So I don't know, but y'all can let me know what y'all think about all of that in the comments. And if you do follow Cynthia G's channel, what do you think about the conversations that were going on her channel? Um, and personally, like I said, I don't feel like she had to come out here and tell nobody that she was biracial if she didn't really want to, right? Obviously in that industry, she will benefit from not telling people that anyway, and we already know that. And so, yeah, why would she come out and do that? She's in the entertainment industry. Now, if there is some reason for her to do it, then, that's different. I'm sure maybe for Father's Day, she put her father's picture up. So y'all should, if y'all, if you was following her, then right? I don't know. Like I said, I didn't even know I don't really know either one of them like that. I was never watching Wild and Out. So I don't, I but just to naked eye looking at her, yeah, I would think that she was a Caucasian girl. And I don't think that's a good or I don't think that's a bad thing or a good thing. I don't really think it matters. That's his decision, and it is what it is. Um, but yeah, the father got up there with that child. What do y'all think about him bringing up the Adam and Eve? Adam was black and Eve was made from the pink rib, was made from the pink rib child. Um, and if you are someone who went to church, then you know that the Bible it actually does address different languages. Different, it says different tongues, and so it kind of there are passages and stories that explain different people coming about, right? And when you read the stories in the Bible, they're often named different groups of people. So for him to make it seem like I don't know. It was just weird to me the way he was trying to make that story. But like Cynthia was saying, a lot of these black men are always quick and willing to erase themselves. Because if you're erasing the black woman, technically you're erasing yourself. And for him to think, I don't even know what his logic was behind it. I think that he was just trying to, like take a shot at people who were maybe questioning her I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why people would take that moment at a funeral to do that. And that's just my opinion. I think that you should keep the funeral on your daughter, expressing who she was. That's just my opinion. But you guys can let me know what y'all think about the father. And now I'll just go to something lighter. I was trying to play the video of Mary J. Blige. She was at her Strength of a Woman festival. I think this is the second one. And she was talking to Earn Your Leisure during an interview, and they was asking her a bunch of questions. And they were asking her if she would do verses, and she was saying, no. Why would she do a verses? Because she just she don't like the competitive nature of it. But to me, I thought verses started off as an honor system, right? To honor people that we grew up on, because um, most of the people that are behind, it was really of a certain generation, right? Like if you grew up in the 90s, most of the people that you were seeing on Versus were from our generation. They showed some, obviously, they pay homage to like the Earth, Wind, and Fire, people that we are, like my generation, grew up on, right? The Patti LaBelle's, Gladys Knight, right? These are people that we grew up on, right? That influenced our sound, that influenced our generation. And so it was mainly that, and I felt like it was an honor system. I didn't really feel like they were trying to make people compete. I know some people were doing that and talking crazy and acting up, but I don't think that that's what Versus was supposed to start off. I don't think it was supposed to be a competition. Do you guys think that the way she said it, or do you think that it was like an honor about honoring the celebrities, right? I think that she could do her own. Like D'Angelo had his special, and Super Cat had a special. I think somebody else, where it was just that person and was nobody else there but them. I think she could, because you really can't compare nobody else to Mary. I think a lot of people were saying Mary against Faith Evans or Mary against Toni Braxton or something like that. Because I think Mary, Toni Braxton, and Mariah Carey kind of came out at the same time, right? And so people were saying, out of those three, who would you guys put together? But I honestly feel like Mary could have her own um, special, her own versus special, like D'Angelo had one. I don't think that she have to necessarily go against another artist, or share the stage with another artist. And that's just my opinion, because when you really think about her, she's right. She was tooting her own horn, and she can do that, because she do have a real catalog. Like from her first album, the second, the third, she got bumps. She do. She didn't put out no junk. She put out real music, and you really can put her CDs on and listen to her album, the full album. And everybody can't say that. Okay, let's be clear. Everybody cannot say that. Very few people can say that, and that's why I'm saying she could have her own special. I agree. Is that much? I don't think that she has to feel like, oh, I don't want to do it, but I think that she feels like there's nothing in it for her. But I think it's about people just wanting to honor her, because we, as people of color, we don't have a lot of word systems and ways of really honoring people. We have a couple, right? I mean, and I'm sure at some point she will make it into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and certain other places. But I just feel like she shouldn't have the attitude, because it was really about the fans wanting to honor them. That's kind of my point. But let me know what y'all think. Do you think Mary should do verses? Do you think who it? I don't really think she should go up against nobody, because she's right. She do have a serious catalog. That's true. She could put all her albums on. And I will sit there and listen. So who I don't know. Some people were saying Faith Evans, some people were saying Toni Braxton. Do you think she should do it by herself? If she do it, and are they bringing verses back? Because I mean, why are they even asking her about verses? Because I thought they took verses down. I don't know. Let me know what y'all know, if y'all know if they're trying to bring Swiss if they're trying to bring and Timbaland, if they're trying to bring it back, um, let me know because I haven't heard that. Let me know what y'all think about JackyOh's father. What he the Adam and Eve spill at her funeral. It was kind of weird. It was weird to me. It was weird to me. And everybody has a right to believe whatever they want. If you choose to believe, child, that God made a black man and a white woman, then that's your right. I'm not. He could believe whatever he want to believe, child. Trust me, I don't care. I don't believe that, but he could believe whatever he want to believe. Um, what do you think about Akbar and Nicki Minaj and their putting their surgery stuff out here, talking about getting plastic surgery, and Coach Stormy? I don't know if you guys saw that video, but that video is very touching because she was definitely shaken in that video. And I think it was because of that JackyOh announcement because it was right around the same time that happened. Um, and what do you think about Nene posting the narcissist, all this stuff about narcissists? I don't think she's talking about the boyfriend. Some people think she's talking about her boyfriend. Let me know what y'all think about Joseline getting arrested for fighting some girl from her cabaret. And do you get that that's about advertising for Zeus? Let me know in the comments what y'all think about stuff like that. Um, Yeah, that's what I'm with Roland Martin. I'm glad I'm too grown for all of this. I'm just glad I'm too grown for all the Zeus stuff. It's not my lane. I'm not getting ready to get into Zeus. I can tell you that with assurance. But let me know what y'all think about all these stories, and I'll see you guys in the next video.